Hello, dreamers! If you don't know me, my name is Hallucinations. You can call me Sin for short, and I'll be talking about dangerously hot topics that is going on in the world right now to help spread awareness on how our future will be. This video will be about the growing mental health crisis in young people. Okay, so first of all, let me explain. The mental health crisis among young people refers to the sharp rise in psychological struggles such as anxiety, depression, burnout, self-harm, and identity confusion, especially among teenagers and children. In the past decade, young people have faced increasing pressure from social expectations, academic demands, and the digital world. As a result, emotional instability, social withdrawal, and hopelessness have become more common experiences among the youth. Even small children are showing signs of stress and emotional strain that once seemed too mature for their age. Many experience anxiety due to family conflict, school bullying, excessive online exposure, or fears about global issues like climate change and pandemics. Children may not always have the language to describe these feelings, so their distress often appears through irritability, withdrawal, or changes in appetite and even sleep. Adolescents, on the other hand, face high social comparison on social media, body image issues, and performance anxiety both academically and socially. They often deal with loneliness and even while being constantly connected online, a paradox of the digital age. What makes this crisis more worrying is that it doesn't just end with youth. Many adults who were children in the 2000s and 2010s, a generation that grew up in the age of constant connection, now carry unresolved mental health struggles into adulthood. This explains why there's been a rise in the number of adults developing anxiety related disorders, burnouts, or even post traumatic stress linked to chronic stress since their formative years. This unfolding crisis shows how mental health isn't an individual issue, it's a generational one. The teenage anxiety of yesterday is often the adult depression or chronic stress of today. Why awareness matters is because raising awareness is not only about sympathy, it's about prevention, understanding, and action. Awareness helps normalize mental health discussions instead of labeling them as weaknesses. Many young people still hide their pain, fearing judgment or misunderstanding. Awareness efforts can encourage community support, earlier intervention, and policy change to provide better educational and health resources. Okay, so these are 10 scenarios that I created on how mental health manifests in different people. For a little context, mental health issues may look very different depending on the person and the situation. The first one is the quiet overthinker, a student who appears calm but constantly worries about the future, grades, or friendship. Second, the perfectionist overachiever, someone whose identity revolves around success but feels empty or anxious after achieving goals. Third, the bullied child, a student who gets mocked at school or online, developing social anxiety and chronic self-doubt. Fourth, the lonely teen online, constantly scrolling social media, comparing themselves, yet feeling unseen or excluded. Fifth, the friend who cancels plans, withdraws often, masks depression without humor, and avoids talking about personal issues. 6. The emotionally neglected child grows up believing their emotions don't matter, struggling later to form trust with others. 7th, the burned out young worker, in early adulthood already exhausted from work pressure and unable to find motivation. 8th, the identity struggler, feels lost in questions of gender, culture, or purpose, leading to anxiety or disassociation. 9. The trauma survivor deals with lingering effects of abuse or family conflict, often showing aggression or numbness. 10th, the last one, the severely isolated individual spirals into depression or suicidal thoughts without knowing where to seek help. Each case shows a different way that pain manifests, From visible suffering to invisible battles, judging by behavior alone rarely reveals how a serious struggle might be. This is how you guys can spread awareness online and support others. Be kind in comment sections. Avoid sarcastic or judgmental remarks. Comfort instead of criticize. If someone expresses pain, even if they actually did something extremely bad in the past, please just forget about it. I really don't care. They're still a person and you are too. Everybody is equal. If someone expresses pain, respond with empathy, not advice right away. Normalize feelings. Remind others that emotions are valid and human. Share resources. Post or link mental health hotlines, articles, or coping strategies. Educate respectfully. Correct misinformation in gentle, informed ways. Use trigger warnings before discussing sensitive topics like trauma or even suicide. Encourage self-care. Please guys, remind all of your friends and family to rest, eat well, and take breaks from screens and even dangerous scenes. Celebrate small victories. You guys need to praise progress and not just perfection. Support online campaigns. Participate in awareness days like World Mental Health Day. Check in privately. A simple, "How have you been?" message can mean a lot. Even digital empathy can save lives. The smallest online words often reach someone at their lowest point. A virtual hand that says, "You're not alone." So in conclusion, guys, the mental health crisis among young people is not an isolated phenomenon. It affects deeper issues in how society handles pressure, communication, and empathy. Technology connects us more than ever, yet emotional connection feels rarer than before. Recognizing this gap and addressing it begins with each of us by understanding, caring, and even reaching out. When people genuinely listen, support, and respect each other's emotional boundaries, we begin to turn awareness into healing. Mental health isn't just a topic for professionals, it's a shared human responsibility. One conversation, one online message, one act of kindness at a time. As you finish this video, take a moment to breathe. The world can be loud, harsh, and demanding, but you are allowed to pause. You are allowed to rest even when everything around you feels like it's constantly moving. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, or even your mind is not selfish. It's necessary. No one is meant to be strong all the time, and it's okay to ask for help whenever these days get heavy. You don't owe anyone constant positivity, but you owe yourself understanding and patience. Remember that you are a human being before anything else. Before a student, before a friend, a worker, or an idea of who you should be. You feel deeply because you care deeply, and that alone is beautiful. Pain doesn't make you weak. It shows that you're alive, that your heart still hopes for better. Healing isn't a straight line, and it's not a race. Some days you might not move forward, and some days you might just hold on. Both forms of progress. So take care of yourself, even when it feels unnecessary. Drink water, sleep enough, talk to someone you trust, or simply sit in quiet for a while. You deserve gentleness from others, but most importantly from yourself. Your emotions are valid, your story matters, and your presence makes a difference in ways you may never fully realize. You are doing your best, and that is more than enough. I know you're doing your best. I know you're putting all of your efforts into that one thing or even into everything. I see you and you're valid. Please take care of yourself, my dreamer. This is Hallucinations, signing off.